Aydin Guven is a PhD candidate at George Mason University's Schar School of Policy and Government and joins us now live from Washington, D.C. Thank you very much indeed for your time, Aydin. Listen, the tension here has been bubbling for quite some time. It has threatened to bubble over. That's exactly what's happened. How concerning is this?
First, thank you very much for having me. Actually, you just described the attacks, but before the mention of today's attacks, I want to talk about last week's Indian Prime Minister Modi's last week's speech. And last week, actually, Modi said that he gave all the permissions to the army to attack the militant groups, which was he held responsible for the attacks in the Kashmir last week. And today, around 1 a.m., actually, India launched an operation in Pakistan, which was called Operation Sindoor, a missile strike targeting 6 locations in Pakistan, and some say it's 9 locations in the Pakistan administrated Kashmir, which specifically actually Azad Kashmir. Also a mosque is reportedly among the targeted location, and more than 10 civilians actually were killed in those attacks and many wounded. So according to Indian government, actually these strikes was aimed solely the only terrorist infrastructure and deliberately avoid Pakistani military bases and assets. Yeah, they didn't target any Pakistani military base, and that's why they described the operation focused, measured, and non-escalatory in nature. However, it wasn't expected that Pakistan will consider the attacks as non-escalatory and limited, because the current Indian strikes actually are far more and more extensive than those in 2019, which actually caused the retaliation between both countries. And Pakistan actually quickly condemned the strikes and called the strike as an act of war. So the Shahbaz Sharif, Pakistani Prime Minister, actually said Pakistan has all right to give a response to the attacks, and then the military actually gives a similar speech. And then Pakistani military said that India will receive a comprehensive and decisive response. So while actually no one knows what they mean by comprehensive and decisive, they have already launched a retaliatory strikes on India, and reportedly they actually shot down a few Indian jets, warplanes, and in the Jammu and Kashmir, in the Indian Kashmir.
Sure. So there's claim and counterclaim, and as we said, it's a developing story. So the full picture will only become clear as the hours and the days progress. But when Pakistan says it's an act of war, that is indeed very tough talk. Is that what you expect to happen? Do you think it's going to escalate from here?
Actually, the expectation regarding war among both countries are always alive. So the Indian strikes, actually Indian attacks, was also not as was also expected. So no one was surprised by these actions. And yes, of course, we are not surprised by the Pakistani retaliation, because last week, actually 2 weeks ago, when India suspended the Indus Water Treaty, they also called that they also considered that one as an act of war. So there is a huge outrage and anger in Pakistan and India as well. That's why it's not surprised that Pakistan retaliated in a quick manner, in the same manner. So they responded quickly and as they say, proportionally. So.
Aydin, we thank you very much indeed for joining us here on TRT World. Thank you.